Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so till yesterday we mostly discussed about the data connecting and shaping part, the transforming,
Mm.
and so we will again start with the data modeling because yesterday it was not very clear to you guys, right? So we will start with the data modeling part today. Mhm. Uh, Shenaz, can you mute yourself? There is little
Yeah, yeah.
disturbance. Okay. So now coming to model view. So once you load all the data and do transformations, whatever transformations you want to do in query editor, the second step would be to come to model view and look into all these tables, create relationships, right? Understand about primary key, foreign key, what are data tables, what are lookup tables, and all of these. So today we will discuss about all of these concepts. So first of all, talking about data model. So what is a model? What is a data model? So wherein your tables, whether it's lookup table or data table, I'll talk about like what is the difference between lookup and data. But wherever your tables are connected via relationships based on some common product key, right? So once that is done, then we call this entire database as data model. Why? Because each of these tables are connected to each other and we can create visualization using this, right? So now, uh, if you go here, so as I mentioned yesterday, right? This is one of the table under visualization section. If you see, there is a table. So if you click on this one and bring it on the white canvas in the report view, I am in the report view right now. So you can pull in the columns in this table and see like the data in this format as we create table, right? So rows and columns. So I have pulled product name from products lookup table and order quantity from sales table, right? Now, under order quantity, this value 84,174 is repeating for each of these product, right? Which doesn't look right. So why is this happening? So this is happening because if you look in here, sales table is independent, right? I have pulled product name from product lookup. Now, since we have not created any relationship between any of the table, sales table doesn't know that there is something called product lookup that exists, right? Hence, when we are pulling product name from product lookup and order quantity from sales uh, table, yeah, and yeah, so when we are pulling product name from product lookup and order quantity from sales table, they both are not interacting here, right? The order quantity is not changing based on product name because we have not created any relationship between these two tables. So both the tables are being treated as independent and no interaction is happening as of now, right? So then I'll talk about like there's a concept called database normalization. This you will not use while creating dashboard, but this concept is important. This is a concept which is uh, also used in SQL, like SQL database, or if you are SQL developer, so you should know about all these. concepts saying like database normalization, data tables, primary key, foreign key, all these things, right? So I will talk about this because this might come up in your interview or wherever you are applying. So that's why I'm talking about this. Although these are the concepts that won't be like used in the visualization, right? Without without knowing these concepts also you can do the dashboarding part, but I will cover this one because this is important concept. So what is normalization, right? There's something called database normalization. So what is normalization? So right now here we are seeing multiple tables, right? The process of organizing this table in a database is called as normalization, right? So basically in a normalized database, wherever we create a database, in database you will have like multiple tables, right? So in a normalized database, what will happen? Each table, if you see each of these table should serve a distinct and specific purpose, right? By that, what I mean is, let's say product lookup, right? So product lookup only talks about product information. It will only give you about what is the product color, what is the model name, what is the product name, product price, everything it will talk about product. Similarly, the customer table, it will have everything related to customer, all the customer information, right? Calendar will have everything related to dates, right? Territory will have only talking about territory, like what is the country, region, continent, all these things, right? So the data set that we have imported and the tables that we have created is serving a distinct and specific purpose. It is talking about a particular uh, entity, right? So this entire table is a normalized database, right? Once we create relationship between all of these will, we can call this as a model, right? So this is the normalized database. So whenever you create a table or whenever you try to create a relationship between tables in model view, what you should keep in mind is your tables should be created in such a way that it talks about only a specific entity, like specific uh, product or customer, like that, right? Now what I will do, I will arrange these. So what I will do, there is something called lookup table you see at the top, and there is something called data table or fact table. Okay. So lookup tables, what is the difference between lookup and data table? Somebody call lookup table as dimension table. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. So there is difference between lookup table and data table. Lookup table is also known as dimension table, and data table is also known as fact table. So in any data model, whenever you create data model, there are two types of tables that exist. One is dimension or lookup table, and the other one is data or fact table, right? Now, what is the difference? So if you look into any of the lookup table, it will provide descriptive and text-based attributes, right? By that, what I mean, let's say product name or product color, right? So this is actually talking about characteristics of a product, right? So wherever you will see lookup table, you will see that it is like text based mostly, and text based attributes will be there, and it will talk about characteristics of a particular entity in the table, right? So any of the lookup table, if you pick, let's say I pick product category. So product category will only talk about the category of the product, like which category it belongs to, right? And this is again, if you see, this is providing descriptive description about the product category, right? So these are the dimensions tables or lookup tables. Okay. The other table that we have in any of the model is data table or fact table, right? In this case, the sales table that you see here is a fact table or a data table. Now, what is a fact or data table? Wherever you see numbers or values, let's say order number, order quantity, right? All these are numeric field. It will talk about, this table will talk about sales, right? So wherever you have numbers or values and only keys to connect with the lookup tables or dimension tables, then that table will be treated as a data table or fact table, right? So in data table, there will be only IDs or keys to connect or create a relationship between the lookup table. And then apart from that, there will be numerical field, which will talk about the sales or any numerical field will be captured in data or lookup table, right? So any questions, anyone till now?
No, ma'am.
What I'm saying is
Doesn't
we
work.
couldn't have the same names.
Same names meaning?
Like for the entities you see over here, like customers, lookups, and product. And can we have like other products names?
Can we have
Or
as a product name? No, I'm not getting your question.
you say it have to be different for the entity names, yeah. Like we see over here, products and
Mm-hmm.
customer lookups. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you have like other like table, like product lookups or product something,
You
we
can
couldn't
change
have
the
like.
name of, you can change the name of the table. That's totally fine. What I am
Uh-huh.
saying is we should have a table which should talk about only one entity, like
Oh, okay, okay.
which will define the characteristics of a particular entity, right? So let's, you can have, instead of product lookup you can write something else, but the table individually should, like, we if we have like customer columns also in the product lookup, then that won't be considered as a normalized database, and that is not recommended because we want like each individual entity to be captured in individual table.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now we know that we have different tables, different dimension or lookup tables, and we have one data table as of now in our model view, right? We have not created relationship yet, so this is not a model, data model. So before creating relationship and talking about relationship, I will talk about primary key and foreign key. This is again a very important concept that you should know before creating relationships, because whatever relationship we will create, it will be based on the key in the different columns, right? So there will be primary key in few columns and there few tables, and there will be foreign key in few tables, right? Now, wherever you see lookup tables, we call it as dimension table, we will have primary key over there. So let me go here and show you. Let's say I am in customer lookup. Okay. So there's something called customer key, right? This is primary key. Why? Because primary key is any column which will uniquely identify each row of a table. By that, what I mean, let's say any customer, or you are working in any organization, right? So for each person in that organization, there will be some employee ID, right? And that employee ID will be unique for each of the employees, right? So using employee ID will be a primary key for any of the data if we're looking at an organization level. Here we have customer table, right? And we have customer key. Customer key meaning customer ID. So for each customer, the ID would be unique, right? So using customer key, we can uniquely identify each row of a table. If there are 1,848 customer key, then these are the number of rows that is available in this data set, right? So you can call any particular column as a primary key of that table if that column uniquely identify each row of a table, right? We can't use birth date, right? Because it might happen that two customers or multiple customers are having same birth date, right? name will also Name can also be same, but there should be some ID or some key which will uniquely define each of the customers. Similarly for product, there should be some product ID that should uniquely define each of the product. So we need to identify that particular column, and that particular column will be treated as a primary key for that table. Any question? Is it clear, or are you guys confused?
Yeah, I'm clear, Neha, that primary key need to be represent uniquely, where uh, it should be independent for each of the customer, right?
Yeah, so in any of the table, not only the customer table I am talking about, the primary key of any table should uniquely define each of the row. Let's say I'm in right now product lookup, right? So this product key 214 won't repeat again. What is this 214? 214 is defining a unique product. So it is defining that this particular row is helmet of red color. So helmet of red color, if this particular product has been assigned product key 214 or product ID 214, so 214 won't be assigned to any other rows, right? So that means we have only one value 214 only once in this column, and this column is uniquely defining each of these rows, right? Each of these product. Hence product key is primary key for this data, this table. Any question?
No,
No.
I'm clear.
Now wherever you will see a lookup or dimension table, mostly in this there will be one primary key. Let's say talking about calendar, you guys tell me what should be the primary key under calendar table. What do you think should be primary key under calendar table?
Date.
Yes, correct. Why date? Because I know that there is date, like each date is only once in this column, right?
Yes.
And attached attributes are present in the other columns, right? So that's why date is a primary key for this table. Is it getting clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have understood about the primary key. So primary keys will be uniquely will help in uniquely identify each row of a table, right? Now talking about foreign keys. So foreign key when talking about foreign key, it will have multiple instances of each values, and foreign key will mostly be available. Uh, no, that's not like I was going to talk about like foreign key will mostly be available in data table, but foreign key can also be available in lookup table. I'll talk about it. But if I look into this data table or fact table, you will find multiple columns wherein the values are repeating. So let me go here and show you under sales table. So if you see product key, here 214 is repeating multiple times, right? Then if you look into customer key, under customer key also, if I sort it, it will repeat multiple times. Why it is repeating multiple times? Because under sales table, it might happen that the same product has been sold multiple times on different dates. And that's why this product key is repeating. Why customer is repeating multiple times? Because it might happen that the same customer has purchased various products on various dates. And that's why it's repeating, right? So in any data or fact table, you will see that these key will repeat, right? So this key in the data table will treated as a foreign key. Why? Because in we call any column as foreign key wherein you have multiple instance of each value and which will help you connect or create relationship with the other table using that column, right? I will not call order quantity as foreign key. Why? Because this order quantity is number of orders that happened in a particular date or month, right? This order quantity won't be help me to create relationship with any other table, right? So foreign key is something which will help you create relationship with other table and help you create relationship between primary key, right? So I know that product key in product table, product lookup table is primary key, because product lookup table we are talking only about products, right? So you have each product id once, right? Only once in this table, but the same product key under sales table is repeating, right? If you see here, the same product key under sales table is repeating because this is showing us that same product has been purchased multiple times, ordered multiple times. So the product key in sales table will act as a foreign key, and product uh, key in product table will act as a primary key. And while creating relationship between two tables, always there will be one primary key and the other will be foreign key. Mostly 90% of time it will be primary key getting related with the foreign key, right? So that is the difference between primary key and foreign key. So primary key will uniquely identify each row in a table, wherein foreign key will have multiple instance of each values in a table. Is it clear? Any question?
You mean
Um,
each value have to be the same?
Exactly. So if
Okay.
you see 214 under product key, 214 is repeating multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Wherein in product lookup, 214 is only once. So
Okay.
in product lookup table, product key will act as a primary key because it is uniquely identifying each row. Wherein in sales table, product key is foreign key because under product key, you see like same 214 is repeating multiple times. So that's why product key in sales table is foreign key. And we call it as foreign key because we know that when we want to create relationship between product lookup and sales, we will use product key as a common key between both the tables. So we will join product key in the sales table with the product key in product lookup table to create relationship between both the tables.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got
Senat, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if we understood what is the difference between primary key and foreign key, now I will talk about creating relationship. How to create relationship between tables. So now there are two ways you can create relationship. There's one option called manage relationship under home tab at the top, if you see, right? If you hover around manage relationship, it will like one pop-up will come where you will see add, edit or remove relationship between tables. So using manage relationship, you can either create a relationship, edit a relationship or remove a relationship between tables. I'll click on manage relationship. Now, as soon as you hit on manage relationship, a window will open saying the first at the top you will see there are no relationships defined yet. So right now, since we have not created any of the relationship between tables, this particular uh, place is blank, right? And at the bottom you see there is something called new and auto detect, right? Now if you hit on new, a page will open, a window will open saying create relationship and saying select tables and columns that are related. Just give me a second. Yeah, I thought there was disturbance. So I was just closing my window. Yeah. So now to create relationship, uh, it is showing me select tables and columns that are related, right? I want to create relationship between product lookup and sales table, right? So first of all, I'll select product lookup from the drop down at the top. As soon as you select product lookup, what will happen? All the columns related to product lookup will start appearing at the here. Okay. And the second table I want to select is sales. As soon as you select sales, again, all the columns will be start appearing over here. And what you see, product key is automatically highlighted in both the tables. So what happens? This Power BI is very smart. It will actually look into identify the common column to create relationship. It sometimes it might happen that uh like by default whatever is selected is not correct, and then you need to select on your own. Let's say I clicked on customer key, right? So you need to select on your own sometimes, but most of the times it will automatically detect the common key in both the tables, and you just have to verify whether it's correct or not. So I know that product key in product lookup should be mapped with product key in sales table, right? So these are connected, and then at the below you have something called cardinality, one to many, and cross filter direction single. I'll talk about each of these in later class because each of these are important concept. And then if you see at the below, there is something called make this relationship active, right? So for now, I'll keep it as ticked, and I'll talk about this relationship active, inactive also. So I think we are good with this one. And then as soon as you click OK, you see there is one uh, line started appearing over here saying AW product lookup from table AW product lookup and column is product key to table, which is AW sales, column is product key. So one relationship has been created, which is active. So it is ticked. We will close it and you will see a relationship happening between product lookup and sales, right? If you hover on the line, you will see the key on which the common key which we have selected to create relationship will get highlighted in both the tables. So on hovering on the line, you will see product key highlighted in the product lookup, and similarly similarly product key is highlighted in the sales table, right? Any question, anyone?
No.
No.
So this is a long approach, right? To
Yes.
create a relationship, there are two ways you can do. Either you can go to manage relationship and then individually select everything and create relationship. The second way to do it is very fast and simple. Let's say I want to create relationship between customer lookup and sales. I know that the primary key in the customer lookup is customer key, because customer key is uniquely identifying each of the rows in this table, right? And I know that we have customer key in sales table also. So what we are supposed to do? We want to create relationship between both the tables basis on customer key. So to create relationship, instead of going to manage relationship, which is one of the ways you can create relationship, there are two ways in which you can create relationship. Either go to manage relationship and create, as we did a few minutes back. The second way is you can directly click on the column in a table, let's say customer key, right? I will hold it and drag it and place it over customer key in the customer lookup table. So on doing so, the relationship will automatically be created, right? So this is very quick and fast step that you can do and avoid all those going to manage relationships, selecting tables and doing all those things, right? So I prefer creating relationship using this. I just pick the column in a table and then drag it and place it on the column in the other table, right? Let's say I want to create relationship between calendar lookup and sales. So I know date is a uh, primary key in the calendar lookup, and I see we have here order date, and there's something called stock date also. I'll talk about it later, but I am right now I am worried about, or I want to consider order date as a primary key for sales table, because what we are trying to identify here is on which particular date or the order has been placed, right? So I will treat order date as a primary key right now, sorry, foreign key right now for sales table. So I'll click on order date and I'll drag it and place it over date in calendar lookup. So you see relationship has been created. Similarly for territory lookup, what should I do? Can somebody tell me? I want to create relationship between AW sales and territory lookup. So which particular column should I pick in both the table to create relationship? Just go over each of these columns, you will understand. So what all we have? We have continent, country, region, sales, territory key, and territory hierarchy, right? And AW sales also, you have something called customer, order number, order quantity, stock date, territory key, right?
We use territory keys because we have the
Yes.
same.
Yes. So we will use territory key in both the table to create relationship. So what I'll do, I'll click on territory key, drag it and place it over sales territory key in the territory lookup. So you see relationship has been created. Now I will talk about these two tables little later. So this is how we will create relationship between tables. Now we can call it as model, right? Because we have created relationship between dimension table and fact table, right? Any question, anyone till now?
No.
Okay. So now I wanted to show you one thing. So we have created relationship between product lookup and sales table. First of all, if you want to delete any relationship, let's say you created relationship but you thought no, I don't want to do this, I want to uh, create something else, this relationship is not correct, whatever. So if you want to delete any relationship, what you can do, you can click on that particular line, right click, and then there's very easy option of delete. You can delete it. So it will ask, are you sure you want to delete this relationship? Yes. Okay. So as soon as you do that, see, the relationship has been removed, right? So now why I removed it, I wanted to show. See here, still between product name and order quantity, values are not correct. Why? Because we don't have relationship between product lookup and sales right now. But you will see the magic. As soon as I create relationship between sales and product lookup basis on product key, see, the relationship has been created. And now if I go here, see, the values has been corrected. Why? Because now the product table knows about the sales table, and it knows that each product name has been sold or ordered how many times. So that's why this number is now coming up correct, right? So you see, the after creating relationship, numbers are coming correct, right? So that's how the relationship works here. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is there's something called active and inactive relationship, right? So under managed relationship, you saw that there was something active, inactive. So let's say we we have calendar lookup, right? This particular thing. If you double click on any of the line, then the page will open to edit your relationship. Okay. You can do it in two ways. Either you can go to manage relationship, select that particular relationship which you want to edit, click on edit, and then this page will open. The second way is, instead of going this long route, you can directly click this, like go your keep your cursor on the line and double click on this line, and this edit relationship page will open, right? Now if you see here, what we are seeing, there is something called make this relationship active, and this is ticked mark. That means right now this relationship is active. If let's say I want to create one more relationship between both the tables using stock date and date, if I create a relationship between these two, you see there is, let me actually move it this side. Okay, so you see there is the second relationship that we have created between stock date and date is having dashed line, right? This is not proper line. Why? Because if you double click on this one, right, you see this relationship is not active right now. If you click on the make this relationship active, what you will get an error message saying you can't create a direct active relationship between sales and calendar lookup because an active set of indirect relationship already exists between these tables, right? So what it is saying is I can't make this relationship active because there is already one relationship active between sales table and calendar table, right? So this relationship, if you see between order date and date, is still active, and hence I can't make relationship between stock date and date active. If you want to make this relationship active, then either delete or deactivate the first relationship, right? So what you can do, if you want to make this relationship active, let me cancel this relationship active, you will have to edit this and make this inactive. So now, since this first relationship is inactive, now if you click on the stock date versus date relationship and click on make this relationship active, see right now we are not getting any error message, because this is the only relationship that is present between the tables and the other relationship is inactive. So what it showed you, like with one date you can have, like with one column you can have only one relationship active at one time between the tables, right? Even if you have multiple dates over here, you can create only one relationship in one go, right? You can't have both the relationship active at once. If you want to create active relationship between order date and date, then you will have to make this relationship inactive between stock date and date, and then only you can create active relationship between order date and date. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically my point was like the how to basically make active relationship between the, like how to make relationship between the tables, and what is the difference between active and inactive relationship. So even if there is a relationship between these two tables right now, but since this is inactive, the values here won't change. Let's say instead of product name, I'll show you quickly. Instead of product name, let's say from the calendar table, I pull stock date, right? Where is, not calendar, what was this table? Calendar lookup only, right? Sorry, from calendar, I will pull date. Okay. Okay. And you have order quantity from sales table. Now, right now, this value is showing correct. Why? Because there is one relationship active between calendar lookup and sales table, right? But if you want to, let's say, have something called as stock date and stock date and let's say the date, okay, and this date. Okay, so now if you see order date and date, so stock date and order date are coming from sales table, and date is field is coming from calendar table, right? Now if you see order date and date are almost like is exactly same, right? Why? Because we have created relationship between order date and date, and these are like whatever value we will pull here, it will have like the same value in both the columns. But since stock data is not right now, the active relationship is not being created between stock date, this value you see is not coming correct over here. It's not matching with each of these. So just wanted to, I remove this because this is not a very good example, but the point is you can create relationship between two tables, like only one relationship between two tables in one go. You can't have multiple relationship existing together. If you want to create another relationship between the same primary key, then you will have to make another relationship inactive. Okay. So this is one thing. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is the cardinality, right? So if you see here, there's something called cardinality, many to one, right? So what does this mean? Many to one, then there is several options over here. Many to one to one to many to many. So what are these? What these signify, right? So talking about these, let me actually go in the data view and show you, right? So if I come here in the sales table, 214 is repeating multiple times, right? Where in the product lookup, 214 is only once. So when you create a relationship, I know that in product lookup, the relationship has been created using the product key, and the values in this product key is only once, right? Like unique. 214 is only once, 215 is only once, like all those product IDs only once. Hence, when you see here, after creating relationship, something one is written at the bottom, which means unique value from the product key is getting related to multiple values. By star, I mean multiple. There are multiple instance of the of 214. Of each value, there is multiple instance. So I know that product key under sales table has same value repeating multiple times in the rows, right? So hence, when you create relationship, it will automatically pick this cardinality, which is one to many, right? And mostly, whenever you create a relationship in an ideal data model, the cardinality should always be one to many. Ideally, all relationships in the data model should follow one to many cardinality, right? So one to many meaning one instance of primary key and many instance of foreign key, right? So that is cardinality. Now going back to this one, any of these, let's say, you have something called one to one also. Many to one and one to many are same, right? Many to one is this one. If you see the same thing, you have it here, right? Let me, right? Many to one. Why it is taking many to one right now? Because it will always treat the first table as here first. Like if I change this one, let's say I pick product lookup here and sales table at the below. So it is giving me one to many. Why? Because in the first table, in the primary key, values are repeating only once. So that's why the cardinality is one. And the product key in the sales table is having repeated value, hence many. So that's why right now the cardinality is one to many. But if you switch the tables here, let's say you change product key to sales and sales to product key, then it will change to many to one. But both signifies the same thing, either many to one or one to many. Since we have first chosen sales table at the top, that's why the way it is written is many to one, because one is here below. Drop down. Okay.
So it's like one one to many and many to one is kind of vice versa.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And both signify same thing. Somebody can tell this as one to many, this first relationship between product and sales as one to many, and somebody can tell many to one. Both are correct because
Oh,
somebody is reading it like this, many to one, and somebody is reading it like this, one to many. So both are
okay.
same, right? So there are two things, many to one and one to many, right? Now there are two different cardinality, which is one to one and many to many. So this right now, I don't have example. We will not talk much about this one, but what happens in one to many, I don't have examples, but I can talk about it. So when you have two tables in which, or maybe let me see here if I have something. Mm-mm. No, I don't have. Okay, so in one to many, what happens is, sorry, one to one, what happens is you will have one value under, let's say like primary key in the first table and primary key in the second table. Let's say this one. Let me actually show you. If you want to create relationship between, I don't have common key right now between product lookup and customer lookup, but actually, let me create one table quickly in the PPT and show you guys like how one to one works. Okay, so let me actually quickly show you. Okay, so let's say you have a table with uh, 3 columns. Let's say I copy this one. Okay. So you have your product name, AB, color, product style, right? Let's say I remove this actual price from here. Okay, so you have product name, product color, product style, or product size. I will put as medium, large, like that. Okay, and then you have another table saying product name, and instead of all this, you have product price. Okay, and let's say product price is $30, $50, something like that, right? So let's say there are two tables like this. The first table has 3 columns, product name, color, product size, and the other table has 2 columns, product name and product price, right? Now, when you create relationship between these two tables, obviously you will create relationship basis on product name because that is the common column between both the tables. But what I see is, I see in both the tables, product name is uniquely identifying each of these rows. So A is not repeating twice. Why? Because I know either the product of A would be $30 or $60 or whatever. It will come only once in this table. I know that product A is having color red and medium size, so it will not change. Again, product A can't be of yellow color and large size, right? So I know that in both these tables, this row, product name A is only present once, right? So as soon as you create relationship between these two tables on the basis of product name, the relationship cardinality would be 1 to 1. Why? Because I know the values of A is only once present here and only once present here in this table. So in this case, the relationship cardinality would be 1 to 1. But 1 to 1 is not recommended. Why? Since we have only one row in both the table, instead of having multiple tables like this, what would be better is having product price in the same table, right? As we have it here. if I go in my database, you see I have everything here related to product. Let me cancel this. I have everything related to product in the product lookup. So you have product color, product cost, right? Product price, everything here. So the way we have created our database is exactly right, because in this table, this is inefficient, right? The product price should be present in the first table. So I created this to show you like how one-to-one relationship will work. But as I mentioned, in any ideal database, one-to-many, or I can say many-to-one is always preferred, and one-to-one is very inefficient, and many-to-many is also not recommended. I will tell you what is the problem that will come with many-to-many cardinality. I'll talk about many-to-many later on, but for now, just understand that always try to have one-to-many or many-to-one relationship in your modeling view, right? Any question, anyone?
No.
Okay.
No,
Shahnaz?
ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I think we have discussed about, let me see. So we have discussed about cardinality, we have discussed about relationship active. Cross filter direction I'll cover in the next class. So for now, what I will talk about is, um, so right now we have only one data table, right? What I want to do is, first importing, like before importing data table, let me actually show you, talk about these two independent table that I have. So now if you see, what are these tables, right? So if you see, these tables have values related to products, right? This table is talking about product categories, and the second table is talking about product subcategory. But now, how to actually create relationship between these tables and sales table, right? So that is a challenge. Now, if I see under product category, you have only two columns saying category name and product category key, right? But if you see in the sales table, you don't have product category here. So how you will connect this sales table to product category? But I want to somehow connect these tables. So if you see in AW product subcategory, you find out there is something called product category key, right? And there is something called product subcategory key, right? So let me look into sales table. Okay. So, okay, product key, right? So now what I will do, if you look into this table, let's say product subcategory table, right? What values do you have in product subcategory table? You have product category key, product subcategory key, and subcategory name. So this product subcategory has values something as 1, 2, 3, 4. And in product lookup, you have product key, product subcategory key as same values, right? So I know that, and also this is product lookup, and then there is something called sales table, right? So in sales table, you have product key, right? So now you can create relationship between these tables. So what I will do, I will create relationship between product key and product category key. Let me actually. This relationship cardinality is many to many. This should be used. Okay, got it, got it. So basically, let me move this side. Yeah, this is the best option. Okay. So now I know that my product key is connected with product lookup basis on product key, right? Let me go down. Okay. And I know that in my product lookup, we have something called product subcategory key, right? We don't have product category key, but we have product subcategory key. And in product subcategory table, I have product subcategory key. So I can create relationship between product lookup and subcategory table, right? And I can again make relationship between product subcategory and product category basis on product category column, right? So while creating relationship here, what do I do? Like I know that in product subcategory table, product category or product subcategory is primary key and product category is foreign key. If I show you here under subcategory table, if you see product subcategory, it's repeating, like it's unique. Product subcategory meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is unique. It will not repeat itself. If I sort it ascending, you see there is only one value. Although for one subcategory, there are multiple categories, right? So what it is telling us is like one. Basically, in one category, there are multiple subcategory is present, right? So in this table, product subcategory is primary key and product category is foreign key. So subcategory, product category will be treated as a foreign key in this table, and product category key will be treated as primary key in this table. And hence, when you create relationship, see it's automatically picking up one to many because it knows that the relationship has been created between category, not category name. This is wrong. It should be category key. 1 minute. Product category with product category. Yep. Now it's right. So this knows that product category in product category lookup table is only once, and product category in product subcategory table is repeating multiple times, and hence this one to many is coming, right? Similarly, if you see here, product subcategory in the bottom table is only once, but product subcategory in product lookup table will repeat itself. If you see here in product lookup table, so product subcategory is repeating itself, right? So in product lookup table, product key is primary, where in product subcategory is foreign, because product subcategory is a column which will help you create relationship with another table, right? So product subcategory in product lookup is foreign key, where in product subcategory key in product subcategory table is primary key, unique. So that's why when you create relationship between these two tables, it's showing us one at the bottom and many at the top, one to many relationship, right? Similarly here, one to many relationship. And this is what we had created earlier between sales and product lookup. So now if you see, there is no direct relationship between sales table and product category or subcategory table. But there's a indirect relationship between all these tables, right? If you see sales, product lookup, product category, product subcategory, each of these are indirectly related. How and why? Because we we are not having any key to directly connect sales to subcategory or category. Hence, we chose to create relationship between product lookup and subcategory, and then subcategory to category. So now the sales table is also connected to each of these, since each of these are indirectly connected to each other, right? Like to sales is connected to category now, and sales is connected to subcategory as well, right? So there is a word, like you don't need to remember, maybe we can discuss it later, but there is something called, there are two types of schemas. One is star schema and one is snowflake schema. In star schema, what happens, there is only one data table, and each of the lookup table is connected, surrounded by this data table, right? So this particular database, removing this, don't look towards the right side. So these, if let's say we don't have product category and product subcategory, then this database will be called as star schema. And if there are models with chains of dimension, if you see these are the dimension table or lookup table, and we have created a chain between these three tables, right? So models with chain of dimension tables, we call this type of database as snowflake schema. This is just a definition. Somebody can ask in the interview, somebody won't. So don't worry about all those. We will revise it later on. But for today, what we can understand is, if there is no direct relationship between any of the tables, we can create indirect relationship also, looking at what is the primary key and foreign key in each of the table, as we did in these three cases, right? And in these cases, we had direct primary key and foreign key in each of the table. Hence, we created relationship directly. But in these two tables, we were not having any primary key which we can directly connect with sales. Hence, we chose the approach to indirectly connect these with the sales using creating chain of dimensions, like creating relationship between dimension tables itself, right? Any question? I know I have discussed a lot of things today, so there might be a lot of questions. What you guys can do is go through the videos, try to understand as much as you can, and then let me know. You can ask questions right now also, but it's always better to go through the videos and then write notes and try to understand what we discussed. So then it will be more clearer for you guys, right?
Okay, yeah. If
Yeah,
you
I
please
have
upload like the
Yeah, so
videos, it's only like 3 sessions, you know. I was
yeah, three
checking it.
sessions we have uploaded. I will upload 4, 5, and 6, 3 sessions more today.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Meha, I have only one small query.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
we are
go ahead.
when we are creating relations between two tables, we
Mm-hmm.
will see the primary key as well as the foreign key, right? We'll identify what is the primary key from one table and what is the foreign key. The foreign primary key name and foreign key name should be same, right?
See, ideal name can vary, but
Yeah,
ideally,
okay.
what in the ideal scenario, ideally name will be same so that it's easier for you guys or for us to identify primary and foreign key. But in few cases, like rare cases, the name can be different. But in that case, what you can do, you can look at the values in the rows and then identify that looks like this particular column should be common with the similar column in the another table. But most of the cases, 90% times, the column name would be same so that it's easier for us to map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it now.
Yeah. Any question, Becca, you can ask right now, like if you have any question, and then later on you can go through videos and ask more questions.
For now, I don't have any questions, but like I have to see it again, you know, like to get the full concepts, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
And-
Okay, so I will share the videos today, and yeah, recommend you guys to go through these. And regarding the questions that you guys asked, right, of on data connecting and shaping classes, I will create few questions and share it with you guys on weekends. Okay.
Okay, Meha.
Okay.
Okay, guys, then I think we are good with today's class. We can wrap it up, and then we will connect again on Monday, your Sunday.
All right. Okay. Thanks. Have a
Okay.
good one.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you.